What if the one skill you actually need to manifest everything you want in your life has nothing to do with techniques and nothing to do with 99% of what the manifesting community is telling you? Yep, I'm here to tell you it's just one thing, and it's something I talk a lot about on this channel, and that is reacting to your 3D reality, or some like to call it current circumstances. If you could just master this one thing, everything else would take care of itself automatically. If that sounds like something you want to learn about, then this video is for you. I'm going to first explain exactly what reacting is, because most people think it's their emotional reaction, and it's not. I'm going to explain exactly what reacting actually is and the powerful signal that it sends to your reality, and why it's the only thing you really need to master in manifesting any desire, but especially when it comes to other people. And of course, I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions on exactly how to do it. And no, this does not involve willpower. It also doesn't involve stuffing down or ignoring your emotions. None of that will work, and trying it will actually just backfire on you. So stay tuned for all of the correct information you need to stop reacting and to truly master your reality creation or conscious manifestation, if you want to call it that. If you're new here, hello, I am your Muse Traci. On this channel, I help you unlock the power you already have but can't seem to access yet. I help you break through where years of trying has failed. And the biggest hurdle of all, I help you go from intellectually knowing all of this to permanently embodying it. So let's get clear on this first, because I see this misunderstood all the time. When I talk about reacting to 3D, I am not talking about your emotional reaction. Emotions are natural. Emotions are part of being human, and emotions fluctuate. You're going to feel things. Your specific person, maybe doesn't text you back, and you might feel disappointed. Money is tighter than you'd like it to be, and you might feel anxious. You see something in your reality you don't want, and you might feel frustrated. That's not reacting in and of itself. It might be a byproduct of reacting. That's just an emotion moving through you, and that is completely fine. What reacting actually is something much deeper than emotion. Reacting is when you take what's happening in your 3D and you accept it as real, as true, and as what you assume now, right? So if you allow 3D to cause you to change your assumption, that's you reacting. Reacting is taking the reflection in the mirror and treating it like it's the source, the cause, right? Like it's what's actually, creating, when really it's just the effect. Reacting is letting your 3D dictate your inner state of being. And your state of being, also, this gets mixed up, is not just your emotions. Reacting is seeing the lack of text from your specific person and concluding things like, they don't care about me. That's reacting. It's seeing your low bank account and concluding, I'm broke. Money is hard. I need to panic, right? That's reacting. It's seeing the situation that's not what you want and concluding, this is what's true and real. This is what I have to adjust myself to. That's what reacting is. The emotion isn't the problem. It's the conclusion that is the problem. The acceptance of the reflection as truth is the problem. That's what reacting actually is. It's a conscious move, not an emotional one, okay? It's you moving your assumption, not just because you had an emotion. So why does this matter? Why is this the one thing you have to master? Let me tell you. It's because when you react to your 3D, when you accept it as real and respond to it as if it's the truth, you're sending the most powerful signal possible to your reality in confirmation. You're confirming that this is what's true. This is what's real. This is your assumption, basically. This is what you believe. This is what you are assuming. Because here's how the law works. Let me reiterate it. Your assumptions create your reality. And when you react to what's currently showing up, you are confirming, yes, I believe that's true. You're agreeing with it. You're saying to the universe, this is what I believe is true. I still believe this is true. And the 3D doesn't know what you want. It doesn't actually respond to your want, right? It's just showing you what you believe is true. So your reality says, okay, keep showing her more of that because she's confirming she believes it, right? So the 3D doesn't know that, you're saying, I believe this, but you want something else. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe. The 3D can only mirror back to you what you are saying, assuming is true. And every reaction is a confirmation that you still believe the current circumstances. Every time you react to your specific person being distant, you're broadcasting that this is the state of my relationship. This is what I'm claiming my relationship to be. And so the 3D is going to reflect more of that back. Every time you react to money being tight, you're broadcasting, this is my financial situation. This is how I believe it is for me. And the 3D will keep reflecting that back. Every time you react to anything in your reality, you are essentially saying yes to it. You're confirming it. You are locking it in. This is why reactions are so crucial. They are the crucial piece. If you're trying to manifest something different than what you currently see, you have to stop reacting. You have to get a hold of this one piece, because without this one piece, you can do all the techniques from, 24 hours a day. I mean, nobody does techniques that long, but you can try to do it all day, every day. And if your reactions are still out of control, that's the most powerful signal, because you're sending the signal, of assumption coupled with an emotion that, no, this is what I believe. Because the universe doesn't see your reactions as just feelings. The universe interprets it as a decision, a declaration. You again are declaring it's like signing a contract that says, yes, this is what I'm being. This is what I believe. And so this is what I'll keep getting. And this is why manifesting this one thing changes everything. When you stop reacting to the unwanted things in your 3D, you stop holding them there. You stop saying yes to what you do not want. You stop broadcasting the signal that confirms, I want more of this, when you really don't. And the universe is going to respond like it always does. The universe has to start showing you something else, because you're no longer signing the contract that the old thing is real, is true, is in line with your assumption. And this becomes even more critical when you're manifesting something involving another person, because when you react to what your specific person is doing, you are absolutely solidifying the version of them you don't want. They go cold, you react, you feel hurt, you start thinking about how distant they are, you wonder why they're acting this way, you analyze it, you text your friends about it, you journal about it, you replay it in your mind. Every single one of those things is you confirming to the universe, I believe this. And the universe goes, you got it, more of that coming right up. So you can see how important this is. You have to stop reacting. You have to stop taking your cue from your 3D reality, including what the other person is doing, if you want to experience something different. This is a must, and there is no one to change but self, right? So you're not changing the other person's behavior. You can only change you, and you can only change in the moment your reaction, and your reaction changes everything. Everyone is you pushed out. So that version of them that keeps showing up because you keep selecting it through your reactions, it's not on them, and this is not about blame. This is about you taking ownership, knowing that it's your creation so that you can change it inside of you. You can change the assumption about who they are and how they show up for you inside of you. You don't have to like what they're doing. Listen, it is perfectly fine to see things in your reality and go, no, thank you. That is not what I ordered. You get to say that, okay? You don't have to be okay with it. But the moment you accept it as their truth, as who they are, as what you have to now deal with, again, that's you signing the contract on that version of them. And they have no choice but to keep playing the role that you are giving them. But the non-reactor does something different. The non-reactor sees the behavior, maybe acknowledges, hey, I don't like that, within themselves, within themselves, without locking it in, and stays connected to the version of them they actually want to experience. That's why the non-reactor successfully transforms their reality and the people around them. Basically you successfully manifest the version of the person that you want. It's not because they're better at affirming or because they're better at visualizing. It's none of that. None of you have a, technique problem. You're not bad at revision. You're not bad at visualizing. You're not bad at affirming. No, it's none of that. It's your belief system and your reactions to what is that you don't want to be there. That's it. I wasn't kidding when I told you the title of this video. It's the one thing that you need to master to make everything click. So, okay, if that's so, let's talk about how to actually stop reacting, because this is where most people get it totally wrong. And like I said in the beginning, this is not about sheer willpower, you can do it that way, but willpower is a limited resource and it does run out. So we're not going to do it that way. And this is not about stuffing down your emotions because that always backfires. This is not about pretending that, the thing didn't happen. It's not any of that. If you try to do it through suppression, it will absolutely come back and backfire on you. Your nervous system will react to the suppression itself. The emotions will leak out sideways and you'll just be reacting in another different way. Okay? So that is not what we're doing. Here's how you actually stop reacting. Step 1. Let the emotion be there without making it mean anything. When something happens in your 3D that you don't like, you're going to feel something in the body, okay? Let yourself feel it. Do not push it away. And I know this is going to take practice for a lot of you because a lot of you, through law of assumption, have become so fearful of your emotions that, you're going to have to now make some effort to get reacquainted and allow your emotions. It's okay, but you do need to get rid of this fear of your own emotions, okay? So don't try to spiritually bypass your feelings. Just feel the feelings. But here's the key. You don't make it mean anything. You don't let the emotion become the doorway to a conclusion about your reality. You may feel disappointed that your specific person didn't text. Okay, that's just disappointment moving through you. It doesn't mean anything about them. It doesn't mean anything about your relationship. It doesn't mean anything about your future. It's just a feeling. Let it be there. You get to choose the meaning, the assumption, independently of whatever you're feeling. Let's say you feel anxious about money. Okay, that's just anxiety moving through you. It doesn't mean anything about your financial future or your ability to create abundance. It doesn't mean anything about your ability to receive. It's just a feeling. You feel it, you let it pass, and you don't build a story on top of it. Step 2, recognize the 3D as the reflection that it is. When your eyes see something that you don't want, your mind has been trained to accept that as real, final, only option. Take it as truth. Nothing else exists. This is what I can see. This is what is true. You have to retrain your mind to recognize this is just the mirror showing me what I've been doing, what I've previously assumed. This isn't truth. Creation is finished. All possibilities exist. This is just the reflection of my previous assumptions. That's it. That's the recognition. The 3D is old news. It's literally a reflection of consciousness from before this moment. That's it. It's not the cause. It's just the effect. You want to let it be. When you recognize this, the urge to react dissolves. No willpower, no white knuckling it. needed. You don't need it. You need the right lens that you're looking through, because there's nothing to react to when you look through this lens. You know, oh, okay, yeah, I did. I assumed that. Dang it. I wish I hadn't have assumed that, but that's like the extent of it. If you know it's your assumption, you change the assumption, you change the cause. If you don't know it's your assumption, you're going to have a bigger problem. Step 3, reconnect to the version of reality you want. This is the part that completes the shift. You don't just stop reacting, you actively, in the moment of facing the thing that you don't want, in that moment, we're not waiting for a future time to do it, when you get different evidence. That's not how this works. Right in front of getting the opposite, you go, not what I want. Yeah, that was my old assumption. Cool. But now I'm going to choose this. And you do it in that moment. You see the version of your SP that's distant right in front of you. You acknowledge without locking it in, without making it mean that that's true. You immediately remember the version of them that is connected, present, choosing you, and you think about that version only. You feel from that version. You assume from that version. You see the low bank account. You acknowledge it without locking it in. And then you immediately remember the version of reality where your bank account has a much bigger number in there. Money flows freely. You feel from that version. You feel and you think from that version. You assume that version. You're not ignoring what's there. You're just not making it the truth, because your truth is what you assume to choose as your truth. Step 4. This isn't a one-time thing. This is a moment-to-moment practice. You're going to forget. You're going to slip into reacting. This takes practice because we got to do it in real time, and 3D's all real looking and, seductive, and you get caught up. You get swept away. Okay? We all do. So it's a practice. Every time you catch yourself, you come back. You feel the feeling. You recognize the reflection. You reconnect with what you want, right? Just rinse and repeat. Just do it again. Try again. The more you do this, the less reactive you become. Naturally, automatically, because you're literally rewiring how you relate to your reality. You have to have the fundamental piece. And this is the work I do with my clients. We don't just talk about not reacting, obviously. I actually train them how to do it. First of all, we start with who they are, the cause of the reality, not the effect. So I teach them how to live as cause, right? So you stop signing contracts on realities that you don't even want anymore. And when my clients get this, when they really embody this, their manifestations start to show up effortlessly, because as I said in the beginning, this really is the one and only thing you need to master. When you actually master non-reaction, here's what starts to happen. You become magnetic without having to try, because you're no longer broadcasting the confirmation of the things that you don't want. Your specific person shifts without doing anything, right? You already know the version that you want, okay? You just have to stop choosing the wrong version, and then the right version shows up automatically. Money shows up. You don't have to force it. It just shows up because you've stopped declaring lack every time you check your bank account or every time you get a bill. Your reality reorganizes around what you actually want, because that's the only thing you're still saying yes to. This is the one skill. This is the one thing that changes everything. Not because it's some hidden secret, but because nothing else can work as long as you're still sending that signal, confirming old realities that you don't actually want. You can't out-technique that. You can do all the visualizations in the world. You can affirm till you're blue in the face. You can do sats every night. But if you're still reacting to your 3D, signing those contracts, as I've been saying, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle that doesn't need to be there, okay? So you learn to work with yourself. You learn, sure, do the techniques. That's great. But you've got to stop reacting if you want the techniques to work, okay? So, in closing, if you've been doing all the techniques and wondering why your reality isn't changing, this is most likely why you're still reacting. You're still accepting your 3D as truth. You're still letting your 3D tell you what to assume. You're still signing those contracts on realities that you don't want. So the one skill you actually need is the ability to not react, to see what's there without confirming it, to feel your emotions without making them mean something, to recognize the 3D as the reflection it is, and to keep choosing the version of reality you want, independent of your 3D reality. That's it. That's the secret. Master this and you master reality creation. If you want my help mastering this, learning to stop reacting and start consciously creating, regardless of what your 3D is showing you, I'd love to work with you. There's a link in the description and in the pinned comment where you can book a free strategy call with me to see if we're a good fit to work together. This is exactly the kind of work I do with my clients. It's the work I love to do with my clients and watch them transform. So thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.